Okay, wait. This is like... Wait, does Sophie really have her headphones on? Sophie, can you hear us?
Do you know, I have a test that we can do to see if Sophie really has her headphones on. So, the other day, she and I were going, we like went to the big city to go shopping at Target. And she like wanted lunch, of course, you know, so I like got her Wendy's, and she had a Diet Coke. She's into Diet Coke now. You know?
Oh, okay.
She's a caffeinated diva. But I took like a big drink of her Diet Coke, and then we were looking for a parking spot, and I found one, and I was like getting up close to it, and this woman like pulled into the parking spot right before us. And I like belched out like, "Oh, you dirty bitch!" But it was all the whole sentence was a belch.
Oh, wow.
And Sophie almost peed herself laughing.
Oh, no.
She thought it was so funny. See, she turned over so that we couldn't see her face, so we can't tell if she's listening or not.
I think we would see her shaking. Like, I think we would see her, like, if when you're laughing, you're like, you can't really contain your bodily...
Loaf. You don't have headphones on, do you? Oh, you do. Can you hear me? Oh, damn. God damn it. Okay, we're gonna have to close the door because she can definitely hear us. You scum. She rolled over so we couldn't see her face.
Sorry, Sophie. We have to.
It's for your own. It's for your own good. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome. Hi. Welcome to the worst day of my life.
Welcome.
How's your day going? Is it the worst day of your life?
It's definitely not. It hasn't been the best, but it has also not been the worst.
I was talking to the listeners, not to you.
Oh, okay. Sorry, listeners.
No. You interrupted them. They were going to tell me.
Okay.
I was going to ask you... What was I going to ask you? If you have watched anything good lately on the telly.
Well, I can't necessarily say that it's been good, like, for me. But I started kind of getting, like, obsessed with watching, like, American Monster or whatever on, like, ID Discovery. But then, like, Kenny and I kind of had a conversation about it. I don't know, like, I won't get into, like, too much detail about it, but I've just, like, part of me is, like, maybe I shouldn't be, like, falling asleep to the show every night. It's just, like, it's, like, so predictive, like, but the way they lay out the show, it's, like, it's very interesting how they lay out the show. Like, they started out, like, it's, like, family remembering, you know, like, their loved ones that were, like, murdered, you know, victims and whatever, and, like, then also, like, say, for instance, like, a spouse in their life, or, you know, or an uncle or whatever, and they're, like, you know, speaking really highly of them, and then they're, like, and we never saw it coming, like, kind of, and then they just, like, leave you, like, hanging, and then you end up finding, and then you see, like, the other half of the show is them being, like, their lives destroyed, and talking about how it's affected them, so it's just, like, you know, it's,
that's
like...
That's intense on your feelings before bedtime.
Right, so I'm trying to, like, switch it over to, like, some 1940s classics to fall asleep to.
I feel like I need to get that subscription to, is it Discovery Plus that you watch all the ID shows on?
Yeah, because they have, and then they have, like, the terrible shows on there too, like the 90 Day Fiance, and the Single Life, and like, all the little different spin-offs.
All right, I'm gonna have to do it because I'm like, so I've watched every single murder documentary. I started watching British, like, murder dramas.
Oh,
Broadchurch.
Ooh, I liked that one.
I
watched
fucking
that.
good.
Yeah, I liked that.
We started watching Dr. Foster last night, which is, like, a British drama, but the woman's, like, being cheated on, and you just see her just, like, going through the the divorce and they're like pretending that she doesn't know about it while she does know about it, and it's like I won't give too many details, but it's really great. But I've been falling asleep too. I found the perfect sleep position for me is an earplug in one ear and then pillow on my other ear laying on my side, and then Forensic Files playing under my pillow.
That's so funny. I was doing that, but with Dateline. Like the Dateline podcast. Like, but under the pillow. And I don't put the earplug in because I get an ear infection.
Oh.
But, yeah, I don't know what's wrong with my ears, but.
Oh, it's so nice. Peter Thomas's voice.
Ooh.
He can
good.
be talking about, and I don't have like bad dreams. My husband's so confused by it. He's like, how do you listen to people getting murdered all
I know.
I know Kenny does too.
Yeah, he does. Because he's like, what do you want to watch to fall asleep? I'm like,
why is
murder.
Why is it relaxing? What is wrong with us?
I don't know, but I did see a comedian, he said that he is trying to, like, look into himself to figure out why he only attracts women that are obsessed with, like murder shows.
Yeah.
And, like, he's like, all of the women that I've dated, he's like, have, like, this really, like, deep, like, obsession with watching or listening to documentaries about, like, murders. And then he was, like, making various jokes about it, but I was just, like, sitting there in the audience being like, oh, like, I'm that weak person.
I can listen to it all day long.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like it somehow doesn't, like, bum me out.
Yeah. Well, on the days where I can listen to, like, podcasts or whatever at work, that's what I'm listening to.
Yeah.
Is like, well, I always listen to, like, the Dateline ones for some reason. Like, it helps me for some reason to get my work done.
Yeah. I love Dateline and My Favorite Murder, but I go back and forth between those.
Yeah.
The other thing I've been watching is Made.
Oh, wait, what's that one about?
You told me to watch it.
Oh, yeah.
Grandma.
I keep thinking every time you say that or somebody says it,
I think MADE.
Yes, I do.
MAID.
Yeah.
Made on Netflix. I've avoided watching it until now because everything I read about it, it seemed like I would be triggered. Mm-hmm. And I definitely was.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's things that I need to, like, work through and get over, I guess.
Yeah.
But like oh my God, the text messages, of course, like the very first episode, the text messages that she was getting when she left, just like, where are you going? You're fucking crazy. You're overreacting. You're, all of that stuff.
Right.
Like, that just reminded me of my fucking second ex-husband. I've been married 3 times, FYI. I've been divorced twice. My first ex-husband is, like, the sweetest, nicest guy in the whole world. We'll talk about him at some point.
Yeah.
Meghan actually dated him after we got divorced.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's good. And he actually lives at the same property, the same house, kind of, I guess, that me and Patrick live at, because he's a great guy. He's wonderful.
Yeah.
He's my older daughter's dad. He's
anything
great.
bad about him.
No. First ex-husband, my favorite ex-husband of all my ex-husbands, right?
Yes.
Number 1.
Yes, I concur.
Yeah. Second one, we won't name any names, but not my favorite ex-husband, for sure.
Yeah,
Went through some things. But there are things I do want to, like, bring up at some point. Because it doesn't have to be now, for sure. But, like, other people might be going through those things. And I think it's important to let them know that there is a sweet Patrick on the horizon if you just get rid of that terrible person.
Yeah.
But Maid, I've had that feeling so many times that she had when she, like, went to go get help, and they were like, oh, well, you can go to this domestic violence place or whatever, and she was like, no, I'm not abused.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, you are. Everything that you're describing to me, because emotional abuse, it doesn't feel like it's you don't want to say, oh, I've been abused, you know?
Yeah.
Because, like, he hasn't ever hit you, you know? But my God, like, that shit is so much deeper. It's been...
Yeah, it's, like, insidious.
5 years since I've, you know, even probably spoken to that person. And I still have issues all the time from that relationship. I can't go to, like, a store by myself and just, like, relax and just, like, go around and shop and things like that. I can do that if Patrick's there with me, because he also has that, like, take your time, do your thing, you know, enjoy yourself. But the fact that my ex-husband would be like, where are you? What's taking so long? Who are you with? What are you doing?
Right.
And I would get that all night long. I couldn't, I knew that I couldn't be at anywhere for very long if he wasn't with me. And, like, it still happens to me where if I go to a store by myself, I'll sit there and in my brain I'm thinking, Patrick doesn't care. Take all the time you fucking need. Relax. Go look around. Take a long, nice walk. You're fine. You know, nobody needs you right now.
Right.
And my body, my heart and my, you know, everything is just beating so fucking fast, and I'm breathing hard, and I'm like, you need to hurry. That's what my brain is saying.
Right.
You need to fucking get home now.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
Yeah.
And it still happens. It's like, I wish he would have just hit me, you know?
Yeah.
Those things are so fucking annoying. Like, just go away. But, it did kind of bring up some things for me. But I also started seeing a new therapist, like, right at the same time. So it was kind of nice that it brought those things up for me to kind of talk through.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I'm definitely glad that I watched it.
Yeah, no, that was like, I actually binge watched that show while I was in Tucson on vacation with my family and
With
my
your
mom.
mother? Oh my God.
And so, because I had, you know, like, I'd read some people commenting about it too, like on, you know, like social media or whatever, just saying, you know, their opinion about it, or, you know, some people saying they couldn't watch it because it was, like, way too triggering for them.
Yeah.
And I did, like, already go in with that knowledge that, but I feel like partner, like, abuse like that, like, I haven't experienced that in a long time. Like, I haven't, like, it's been, like, I had to process all of that, and I mean, still am, you know, at times, like, it still affects me, like, one of those things, like, where it always kind of will, but that wasn't what had, like, such a grasp on me as much as, like, my, like, I guess, like, probably my relationship with my mom.
Yeah.
Like, you know, growing up, and just her reactions to things that I told her, like, you know, it happened to me in situations, and just not getting the, like, kind of, like,
severity,
loving, nurturing, you know, response. It was kind of, like, more, you know, like redirect it to whatever was going on in her life that was problematic. Like, take, you know, like, just kind of, like, just sort of, you know, like, being like, oh, that sucks, and then being like, go on to, like, start, yeah, and just, like, reactions like that, and just being like at times, like, out of her mind.
Yes.
And doing just really, like, dangerous, like, impulsive behaviors like that, and just always being scared, like, what was gonna, like, for her, what was gonna happen to her, and just, like, the whole, you know, her, like, going and living in her car, and my, like, just seems to be, like, you know, everything was just sort of lining up with that same thing. So that part, I think, like, hit me, like, was more triggering, and that, like, I don't know, like, I'm still really working through, like, that part.
Well, enough about that.
This is kind of,
I was hoping, I know.
We're really supposed to talk about Mexico Eye.
Yes. I think we should talk about Mexico Eye. So, no, I think you need to start it. I think probably explain, like, who you were, not, like, you don't have to say names, but, like, who, the kind of, like, people you were going with, the kind of, like, vacation that you envisioned.
Oh.
And then
okay,
what happened that night, and then how the rest of it went.
Okay.
Because I would love to know all of that stuff.
Okay.
Because I've heard very little, actually, about this.
Yeah. Yes. So, yeah. I can't even remember how many years ago this was now.
5.
It's 5 years ago? Okay. Yes. So, couple or a few friends of mine had told me that they'd gone on this trip to Mexico like sometime before, and they like I guess it was the four of them. No, is that right? No, it was G, B, and H. So it would have been the three of them.
Okay.
Okay, gosh.
Thank you.
Really? Yeah. So anyway, the three of them had previously gone on this trip to Mexico. I think they actually did have another person with them, but whatever. So they'd gone out and were like at the beach sunbathing or whatever. And while they were out there, I guess one of them decided to go get something from their room. And when they went to their room, they caught the security guard of the hotel, like, in mid-act of trying to rob them. Yeah.
Whoa.
Uh-huh. And so, obviously they had to notify the hotel.
Right.
They were like, I think they were even, like, saying they didn't, like, the act itself was enough for that guy to, like, probably never do that again. They didn't want to, like, press charges and, like, cause him to lose I don't think they wanted to press charges. I think he ended up losing his job, obviously, whatever. But the resort, in turn, gave them an all-inclusive stay for, like, I think it was, like, for 4 people to come back and stay at the same resort again, like, for 5 days, all-inclusive. So,
Fuck yeah.
So they were like, at the time, they were like, we really want to bring, like, they told me they wanted to bring me because they felt like I, like, deserved to have, like, this, good time.
Yeah.
I was like, had been going through some stuff or whatever, and they're like, we just really feel like you just, out of anybody that we could invite, we feel like, you would deserve to go on this really nice trip with us.
Yeah.
So I was, like, stoked. And so friend named G decided that she was going to give me some, like, false nails so that I have, like, sexy nails.
Ooh.
When I went to Mexico. I never, like, I don't, like, paint my nails. My nails are really, like, weak, so I feel like if I do anything to them, it's, like, damages them or whatever. So I just decided for this, like, one time I was going to get, like, fancy and have, like, these, like, press-on nails, and they were, like, a cool color, like a seafoam green.
Yeah.
Anyway.
She's very talented, actually.
Yeah.
She's really good.
She is. And so we got really super excited about it, like, bought all these clothes, like, new bathing suit that I was really excited about because it actually I felt like it looked good on me.
Yeah.
Like, for bathing suits.
Right.
I don't usually feel good, like, in one. So.
Who does?
No, but I felt like this one, everything was, like, seemed like it was just, like, perfect.
All coming together.
So, anyway, yeah. We fly in, and we get there late at night. So we don't really have any time to, like, go out and do anything. It's, like, too late to really, like, I think we went and got, like, a drink at the bar. Mm-hmm. And then, like, went and, like, checked. Oh, I actually met this really nice girl, like, that night at the bar, that was from, like, Korea or something. We, like, talked for a really long time. It was, like, a good night.
Yeah.
But we just, like, wrapped it up early and, like, went to sleep. And so the following day, I wake up and my eyes were really bothering me because I have, like, allergies. I was having, like, allergy eye problems. My eyes were burning. So I went to get, like, my, like, what I thought was just, like, my saline eye drops out of, like, my bag of shit that I brought, which I brought a lot, like, too much just shit in a bag. And so I'm, like, rifling through, and so I grab what I think is my eye drops. It's, like, this shape and the feel of the lid, and I just open it up and then squeeze the shit out of it into my right eye, and immediately it just closes and then adheres, and then I instantly realized what I did, and it was because Georgina had given me a bottle of nail glue for in case I, like, lost one of my fake press-on nails or whatever, and so that was a glue that I shot into my eyeball thinking it was saline, it was gonna, like, bring me relief, and instead it brought me, like, immediate, oh fuck, what the fuck did I just do? I know how super glue works. So, yeah, my eye is completely sealed shut except for, like, this tiny little hole in the corner of my eye. And so immediately my eye, like, swelled up really bad with, like,
first
tears.
night. This is the first night.
Yeah, first night my eye, like, swells up with tears.
Oh no.
And I start calling out for, I'm like, Halita! Because I was rooming with my friend H. And I started screaming out her name, and then I'm like, I did something. Like, I just kept telling her, and then she's like, what happened? And showed her what happened, and we just both knew, like, that was just really bad. So that was just pretty much, it seemed like day kind of 1 of our trip, because it was like daylight, it wasn't nighttime, you know, like, ooh. It was just like so
God.
I was very upset. I was very upset at that moment, and it also just really hurt.
Yeah.
So then I God, I don't even know, like, I think she called a doctor. He came. He thought it was going to be no big deal, because a lot of women will use to put on fake eyelashes.
Yeah.
And we'll use that kind of glue.
Which is completely different.
Yeah, so I think that's what, well, first I don't think they really, there's like
language barrier.
Language barrier. Like, I think somebody was trying to explain to them on the phone what was going on, so he's like, comes over, and then he looks at me, he's like, oh no, oh no, and he, like, doesn't know what to do, and he's like, you know, you should go to the hospital. And we had just talked, like, all of this group had just talked earlier about getting traveler's insurance, and the importance of why, I'm all sweaty, the importance of why you should get traveler's insurance in situations like that. So I could have gone to the hospital if I had had that, but I wasn't going to pay. They had already paid, like, tons of, you know, money to even just have this guy come over. To the room or whatever. So, yeah, I wasn't going to go to the hospital. And so I just decided, like, all I could do really is just, like, lay there. Because I couldn't walk, because what happens when you walk, like, both eyes, like, go, like, shift at the same time. Like, you don't realize it, but your eyes are constantly, like, doing the same, like, you know.
Oh.
And so it was the glue.
So when one isn't?
Yeah, the glue in there was scratching the cornea of my eye anytime I moved. So, and, like, they, like, you know, the friends came and tried to take me, like, on an outing to go outside to go into the swimming pool, even though I couldn't open the eye. But, like, we had to walk really, really slow, and it was so horrible and painful. And then they're like, oh my gosh, look at all these monkeys. Like, look at that iguana. And that's all I wanted to see was, like, monkeys and iguanas. I couldn't see anything. And so I was, like, really upset. So I was like, okay, you guys, I really appreciate your, you know, your effort. Like, it's really sweet of you. But I think I just want to go back in the room and just lay there and, like, not move. Yeah, no, it was like, I don't know. I'm not going to, like, get, like overly emotional about it, because it's crazy. Like, it's 5 years ago. But, no, it was just, like, I was so upset. And then, so I laid in the bed, and all I could do was, like, listen to the TV, and the TV was playing, like, nonstop coverage, because at the time there was a hurricane going on. So they kept talking about the eye of the storm. And, like, I was getting, like, so upset. Like, that was the only thing that I could, like, all the other channels were just, like, Spanish, so I couldn't understand the only channel I could understand was the news. It's constantly like, and the eye of the storm has moved through the Gulf of Mexico, traveling at 70. I'm, like, getting so mad laying there. So, yeah. But the craziest thing was, well, like, I guess there was a lot of crazy things, but I guess when it first happened, I went and I just started slamming tequila, because it was an all-inclusive resort.
Why not? Yes,
so, yeah,
of course.
So they delivered us, like, each got personal bottles of, like, our chosen, like, liquor or whatever alcohol. And so I chose, like, a really nice, like, tequila, and I think I got, like, a vodka or something.
H.
And so anyway, like, so yeah, I drank that while I think they went out to get something to eat or whatever, and I just, like, get supplies and whatever, and so I just, like, drank that entire, I don't know if I drank the entire, but I drank it, and then I dropped it on the ground, and then I started walking through the glass, not realizing, and then I was, like, cutting open my feet.
What?
And my face is, like, all swollen up because because the eye kept filling up with tears. So I looked like I'd been punched. And then housekeeping came, knocking at the door. I'm naked under a bathrobe that I think's, like, actually exposing me.
Yeah.
And I go and like I have a trail of blood behind me because I don't realize that I just cut open my feet.
Holy
and
fuck.
I open the door to them, and they're all standing there, and I'm like, like trying to look through my one eye, like trying to squint through, and I'm like, no. I was like, no. I'm like, I kept trying to tell them we don't need the housekeeper. Like, just go away. Like, we're fine. And they're like, they weren't understanding. So it was just, and they kept looking at me like,
you're like, walking through a trail of blood.
Yeah, like they're concerned because I look like I just got beat up and like possibly like you know like attacked or something, and I'm drunk and like I look like I've been beaten in my face several times, and so they were really concerned. But I finally gave them a bunch of pesos just to get them to go away.
Yeah.
Out of our safe, and then I fucked up the safe out of my drunkenness, and so it wouldn't open again, and our passports and our wallets and everything are in there.
No!
And then Halida, and then come back, and I tell them that because I'm so drunk at this point, that I start telling Halida I gave all of our money away. And everything. I gave it away. And she's like, you did what? And I was like, yeah, I gave it away. So she goes to try to open the safe to find out if what I'm telling her is true. And it's like locked out. Like it wouldn't open. So then we had to wait for like the front desk to like, and she was so mad. She was like, why did you give all of our money away? And then
I would be mad too.
They finally opened it, and and it wasn't true. Like all the money was still in there, except for what I gave them as pesos to get them to go away. Like I don't know why I made that up. When I was that drunk. Oh, that was the other thing. When they came back, they thought I was dead because I had gone to there was a bathtub on the patio, and I turned the water as hot as I could do. I turned the water on, and then I filled it up, and then I kept sinking myself in because I was trying to like dissolve the glue off of my eye.
Yeah, of course.
Like I thought it was gonna like eventually, if I just laid in that hot water long enough, it would just start dissolving it.
Oh, you poor thing.
So, but they come back and they just see me like submerged at the bottom of the bathtub, and they
blood all over there.
Thought I killed myself, and they like freaked out. Oh, and that was the other thing. I had explosive diarrhea, and I apparently went to wipe myself, and I had like shit handprint all over the bathroom wall. Kalita later told me that like long time later. She's like, I didn't want to tell you this then because you were already feeling bad, but you had explosive diarrhea and like mist because I couldn't see and like smeared it all over the wall with my hand. And they cleaned it up because they didn't want like housekeeping to have to.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so it was pretty bad. And it goes on, but like I think we're at 44 minutes and 9 seconds.
Okay, let's take a second. Let's take a break. Holy shit.
Oh, so embarrassing.
From my point of view, I was at a friend's house. I was visiting a friend in Nebraska right before I had my big surgery.
Yeah.
And I got a phone call in the middle of the day from Brandy. And I was like, why Brandy calling? Like,
yeah,
we're very good. Yeah, B. We're very like great acquaintances, things like that. But like we don't call each other, you know. So I was like, I should probably answer it. This might be like serious. I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
I might need something. So I answered it, and she was like, "Hi, so we're here in Mexico with Meghan, and she thought she was putting eye drops in her eyes, and she super glued her eyeball shut, and we don't know what to do." And I was like, what am I supposed to do? I'm in fucking Nebraska, you know? Like, I'm so sorry, I can't help you. Like, I want to help her so bad. I don't know what to do either.
Yeah,
what do you do?
Yeah. But I do remember talking to you and it comforting me.
Oh, good.
But yeah, I think they even called someone to like cast a spell on the situation.
Oh.
They were like really didn't know it. But
Yeah.
I will say
That's
that
so sweet.
But H, because she was my also my roommate in the. Because we were all four of us were in like two different rooms, and she came like religiously like on the, like, no matter what they had going on, like every 4 hours or something, to make sure like that she put my eye drops in, like gave me like medication, and then she would, sounds really gross, but she would milk my eye. Which was basically just like squishing the gross fluid like out from moving it around.
A good friend.
Yeah, no, she was like very sterile about everything. She like put gloves on or something, or like make sure she like really washed her hands well. If she was gonna be touching anything, she was like very sterile. I mean, she was doing that like
Megan,
with her.
Hold my hand real quick.
Yeah.
I would milk your eye for you.
My cold hand. Yeah. Well, I would milk your eye too.
I knew you
but
would.
Hopefully nobody ever has to milk an eye again. But yeah, so so that was going on, and then one night I did decide that I wanted to go out to dinner because I think it was like our last night there.
Yeah.
And it was kind of sad. Like I really encouraged them to keep doing like anything that they had already had planned. Yeah, like they had gotten like a Jeep tour type thing, which I'm kind of glad that I couldn't go physically to that because they did some stuff that I know like I would have had like a panic attack.
Yeah.
I think it was like swimming in caves and stuff.
Oh,
like
fuck no.
Yeah. So I was
no.
I can't. I would have flipped out.
Yeah.
So it's probably better that I was not there.
Right.
To be honest, but yeah. So like they'd be gone for periods of time, but like at the end, I really wanted to like maybe get like a good meal. So I had them like. I think they got me a wheelchair and like wheeled me down to this restaurant, and it was so bad because we were all at this point we had a lot of drinks,
right?
And one member of the group started talking about how like really loud about how much he likes young boys meaning like like 20.
Young men, right?
Yeah. But like it just sounded really bad. Mm-hmm. She's just like like I really like them young, like really loud. And then H had was finally at this point like let loose and had like a lot of drinks too, and she had ordered this soup, like it was like a fish soup or something, like grouper. And then she kept like getting spoonfuls of it and like trying to put it in my mouth, but like missing. And so it was just like running down my face. And every now and again, I would try to open this left eye like as much as I could just to see what was going on around me, even though it like hurt like fuck. But I wanted to know, so I like try to open my eye. And at first, when we got there, the restaurant was like packed. Then, like once we probably like midway through, when I opened my eye again, everybody was gone. I think we like cleared them out because we were so like we were the obnoxious like tourist ladies like in the restaurant. Yeah, and like and I'm sitting there in a wheelchair.
Oh my god.
Like, eye problem and like people like feeding me. Like I just look like they kept saying that I like, especially at the airport, that I look like celebrity rehab because like I was like being wheeled around in the LAX airport.
Didn't you have like a bejeweled eye patch as well?
Oh yeah, that's right. They got me a fancy eye patch. I totally forgot about that. They did. That was one of the things that they first did. They went out and down to the city and like found it was like actually a hair accessory that they fashioned into a really. I probably have that somewhere.
No, H has it because she wore it in her hair at her wedding years later.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I photographed her wedding.
That's right.
And she said, this thing in my hair, this was Megan's eye patch when we were in Mexico.
That's so amazing. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, that is where that ended up.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but no, it was like, but I guess the cool thing was, I did meet a lot of really like nice people like that helped me, like especially at the airport. Like the people that worked at the airport, they were like wheeling me around. Like they were really cool. And then the airplane situation was just so like, because there was like turbulence, and so like this is like and so later when I got back to Olympia, I went to the hospital because I was like, and the doctor there told me to let it dissolve on its own. That eventually it would just dissolve on its own, and I was just going to have to keep my eye, closed and like lubricated or whatever. Luckily, another friend had used to work for an eye doctor, and she was like, that doesn't sound right. Yeah. So she called him up, told him what had happened, and he like worked me in, like got me in like an emergency. And then he was like, he sat there. He was so nice. He sat there. He had to like chisel the glue out of my eye, like crush it. He's like, this is the only way that he's like, I think this is going to work. So he just sat there like and he was like, I know that, he's like, I hear my wife's voice right now. He's like, she would want me to be really careful with your eyelashes.
Aww.
And he's like, I hear her telling me that, you know, she wouldn't want you to have to lose your eyelashes. So I'm really trying to be careful. And he was like so sweet. It took a really long time. And then all of a sudden my eye opened up, and then he showed me like what was in my eye was this giant hardened shard, like basically like a weird like a butter knife. He said that was just lacerating all over my cornea. So I like had all this crazy vision loss, like I could not see out of that eye, like hardly at all. And he said it would eventually come back, it would heal itself, but he's like, I can't. He like showed me like the crazy like abrasions all over my cornea. It was nuts.
Wow.
But he said if like that had stayed in there any longer, he's like, I would have lost my vision permanently.
Really?
He's like, yeah, my eye, if I had followed the doctor's advice that they'd given me at the hospital, like the scar tissue would have built up, and they would have had to like go and surgically like sever my eyelids open, and my eye underneath would just be like useless.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So I was like really lucky that I went and saw that guy. But they like, I guess I was like kind of famous in the, in the eye doctor's office, so they always remember me.
Did they all come look?
Yeah, they all came looked.
I've had that happen to me.
Yeah, and they gave me hugs, and they like felt really, because they knew like how painful it was on your cornea just being like I wanted to, I wanted at some point while I was like in the middle of that trip and nobody was around, I seriously thought about walking down to like the ocean and just walking in and like just like doing away, because the pain was that bad. Like it was that bad. God. I mean, it was just like, you know, fleeting thoughts, and I'm like, whoa, that's a crazy thought, but it was just like, but what was especially crazy about it was how intense my hearing became. Like it, like, because I like was like overcompensating with like
quickly.
Yeah, like for like with like it was probably like, I don't know how many exact days that my eye was like I think it was probably like maybe a week or something that my eye was like, it was like several days. Yeah. So we were there for like, you know, it was like a 5-day trip, and then I had to wait a couple days or whatever before anyway, but yeah, like my hearing became like super like magnified. Like I could hear what I felt was stuff that was like miles away. Like I would hear sounds that I never would have normally paid attention to. And then I was like being able to just like navigate myself around. Like it was like I knew where things were. It was like I could see, but with my eye, it was so weird. It was like a weird, like I would know the exact like I mapped everything out and would like know exactly how many, you know, steps it took to get to like a door.
That quickly.
Yeah, that quickly. It was crazy.
That's kind of comforting. Just in case.
Yeah, but it makes my eye water. Like still like just like thinking about it. But
oh my God.
Yeah, I think that like eye stuff though is like what the Achilles heel of my life or whatever. Yeah. Because I've had like a weird problems with my eyes. So like and things that should have caused me to probably go blind. Yeah. But like whatever those like that weird virus that I got or whatever, they didn't know how I didn't lose my eyesight then either. But it was like,
when was that?
That was when I was like 8. Because I like fractured this orbital rim, like crashing my bike or whatever, and then it caused me to get like this crazy. It was like basically like a form of like herpes virus, but when you get it in your eye, like it can damage your, I don't know if it's your cornea or the nerve. It goes because it's like a virus into your nervous system or whatever. But yeah, it's like it can cause like all kinds of like blindness. They're all, like shingles basically. They don't want it to go into anywhere near your eye cavity. Wow. Yeah, but my eye like didn't have any damage then, and like the other eye came back. Now I'm having eyesight problems. So I think that's just because I'm getting, you know, older,
up there,
getting more what is seasoned, seasoned in life,
slightly seasoned.
Mm-hmm. And being bad boy. Okay, hold on, figure it out.
I missed recording while you were yelling, "Go lay down your body. Go lay down your body, Stan."
Kenny said that he started talking like that at work, like he's like talking to his coworkers, like, I talked to Stanley, which is not good.
Like, what does he say?
Well, because I'm always like, oh, I can't do it like on command. it's just how I talk to Stanley. But it's like
lay down your body.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for listening to Megan's terrible, horrible story about what happened to her eye. I'm so glad that you're still able to see.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, well, we will keep having episodes come out every Tuesday until Megan gets sick of doing this with me. Until then, if you could comment or or share or do whatever you need to do on wherever you're listening to this, that'd be cool of you to do. As of this recording right now, 478 people have heard our podcast, and I've gotten 0 feedback. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea if anyone likes it.
Do they listen to it? Does that count people that listen to it to completion? Or do you think they're start listening to it and it looks like they're listening to it?
I have no clue. I have no idea.
Yeah.
So maybe it's only us listening.
Age group?
That's fine. Yeah, there's age groups, and it's
Okay.
it's our
Okay.
mostly
It's not 95-year-olds.
No.
Okay.
It's mostly women, mostly 30 to 40 years old. So it's just like talking to a bunch of our buddies, Yeah. Our friends, our stranger friends. I've been trying to pretend that it's just us talking, but really we should acknowledge every once in a while that somebody's listening,
Yeah.
Isn't that weird
God,
though?
let's not think about that.
Yeah,
That's when I start thinking
Maybe
about
later.
being
Okay.
on the airplane and what it means.
Oh my god, okay. Okay, we're just gonna keep pretending there's no listeners and it's just us. Okay, calm down. It's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, no one, for listening. I know that you're not listening, but you can follow us at on Instagram. It's theworstdayofmylife.podcast. I just kind of put a little thing out to let people know that there's a new episode and things like that. But your phone could probably tell you that somehow. You could probably you like it or follow it or no. I don't know. Probably gives you a notification. I don't know. I don't know how any of this shit works. But anyway, thank you and have a wonderful new year. By the time this one comes out, it'll be, I think, after Christmas actually, but that's okay. And just remember that it could always be worse. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Maybe you can cut fast forward to that.
Yep.